So today I wanted to talk about the sheer robbery that's been going on while you've been lied to. We haven't had a recession in 30 years or something. Let me show you what a real recession is. In blue we have real earnings. This is for the UK, real earnings from 2000 going up to today. Over here 2008, the great financial crisis over here in 2008. So we see from 2000 to 2008, real wages went really high from £400 to £500. Okay, now taking that dotted line, that would mean we would be all the way up here. If we would have continued to trend, we'd be all the way up here. What actually happened was there's a massive dip because of the great financial crisis, and then it's flatlined since then. Not just flatlined, it is now at £450, which means it's below what it was in 2008 and worse. Taking that amount, that's in pounds. If we dollarize that, it used to be 2 to the pound in 2008. So £500 is $1,000. It is now 1.25 to the dollar. So £450 would be $600. So the UK earnings, average earnings, have plummeted by a massive 40% in all that time, in 16 years. It's gone down, and I can tell you again, as someone, I worked for EY, and the starting salary that I got was £30,000, $60,000 in those days, right? Because of the dollar, 2 to the dollar. It is now around 35. It's below 40. I don't know exactly what it is, but let's go with 40. Heck, let's go with 40. £40,000. But in dollar terms, what is that? That's $50,000. So they are earning less as a starting salary now than when I started 16 years ago. That is how bad things are in the UK now. Things are worse. House prices in brown. Same trajectory. Here's the time scale. The average in 2000 was £130,000. This is for London, right? £130,000 was the average house price in London. It went up to about £215,000 in 2008. It went and took a dip, just like average earnings, which is fine. But look at what happened. It is now at 480,000, i.e. it has met with the trend line of where it would have been. It has continued on the same trade line. So while average earnings have flatlined, since then, house prices have increased. And this is obvious because of all the money that was printed, QE1, QE2, stimmy checks, the pandemic, all that money basically made its way into assets and not into inflation data, which is what the politicians want. They want to say, look, inflation hasn't gone up. Okay, now it has a bit because they had to give everyone furlough and stimmy checks. But before that, all this time where it's increasing way before the pandemic, it was only to do with them printing money, giving it to rich people who then buy assets. Print money, give it to rich people, they buy assets. They don't spend it in the economy. That's stupid. They're not going to spend it, increase inflation. They're just going to buy assets that increases the price of assets. And that's how you have house prices. And all other asset classes would be the same. Gold would be the same. Stocks would be the same. All asset art would be the same. So because of that, it goes up. And that's why house prices has continued to trend. But wages have gone down. And that is the main killer. So people are now earning lower, but no chance they can buy a house. Imagine I told you in London you could buy, on average, a house for £130,000, which if it would have gone the same as wages, would actually have been £100,000. It would have actually gone down, right? So then you would say, okay, my average earning is £400, £450. Okay, house price £100,000 now, I can just about do it. But imagine, your earnings is now still $450, but you have to pay £480,000 to get your thing. And again, in dollar terms, you've gone down in earnings, but your house prices has way increased. Now, what is causing this? Well, we have net migration figures here. So this is from 1996 to 2020. The reason why I went a bit back and not 2000, I'll tell you why. Just to show you that it was zero. Net migration before Tony Blair came in was basically zero for years before that, basically zero. 1998, 70 comes in, 1998, it starts going through the roof, and it goes till about 200,000 people in 2000. It then kind of doesn't do anything, and then the Tories get in, right? So you're still getting 200,000 more people every year, which is causing, this is the most immigrants in the UK, 2,000 years put together. 2,000 years history of the UK, you will have, so it's really 1,000 years from the Normans, 1,000 year history of the UK, from 1998 till now, there's been more immigrants than all those 1,000 years. Let's just put that in perspective. Anyway, 200,000, 200,000, 200,000. It gets to the Tories, who are meant to combat immigration. That's why they're voted in. And then it goes higher. And not just higher. After Brexit, it goes even higher. And after Boris gets in 2019, it's parabolic. It's at 750,000 per year net, and that really means 1.4 million coming in and 600,000 good people, doctors, lawyers, whatever, going out. Benefit bums coming in, these guys going out, and that's why you have net earnings so low. That's why you have house prices going so high. All these immigrants are bidding for houses. There's not enough space, not enough houses, but they're all on benefits, and the government has to pay for them essentially. They don't work, and so that's why average earnings go down. So it's all three of them tied into each other. All this is direct result of net immigration being so high, as well as printing loads of money, and no one's rising up and no one's protesting. And there's been more protests in London over the Fakestine war, the Israel against Fakestinians war, than there ever has been. That they've been, basically they're not earning enough, and house prices have gone through the roof. Oh, and they're being usurped as the main population in their own countries. Enjoy.